I'm gonna be crocheting for 20 hours. Well, why did I hear you ask that? That is a great question. School has started. I am currently a full-time grad student while starting this crochet business. I have birthday parties coming up and other assignments I need to get done, and frankly, I just really need to check some things off of my to-do list. So this video is getting done for the projects that I'm getting done in this video. I have other things that I need to get done, so if you would like to subscribe, that'd be great. Is it too early to tell you to do that? This challenge was a lot harder than I expected it to be. For one, it made me self-doubt.
Let's send my picture and see if he likes it.
I normally like to let the art process just roll through, so self-doubt's not normal for me when it comes to art projects. We're about to spend 20 hours together. Are you ready? Because I sure wasn't. Let's work. To begin, let's talk about some time rules. What makes a timer stop? What makes it start? When are we recording and when aren't we recording? So over the course of the 20 hours, things that count are crocheting, laying out the squares, blocking the squares, the act of blocking, not the time it takes for them to block, color planning, and cleanup. Those all count towards the 20 hours. Anything else is excluded.
Granny square cardigan for one of my friend's birthdays, and I have this idea to like make a tracker, like a mood tracker kind of thing, but for granny square pattern. So like when you finish a granny square, you like color it in on the template. I will put it here. I think I'm gonna draw one and then print it off at school today when I go, so that I make here in the description down below. But I might have like a book of them and sell them on Etsy, or like the PDF so you can like print them off as you go. So let me show you how I block my granny squares. What I normally do is I have this knee board I got from Target for $2.99. It was on sale. And then I use knitting needles that I'm not currently working with, and I stab them in here, and then I'll add steam and steam block them and let it sit for like 30 minutes. These are the squares that have been blocked, and these are the ones that have not been blocked. So there is a difference if you look side by side. I ran out of the one kind of yarn that I've been using that made the color granny squares. It was actually a granny square yarn, but I didn't like the predictableness of it. I thought I would, but it was too, I don't know, uniform, so I changed it. So I have 4 more squares of that I need. So I'm either gonna do this one or this one. But I think I might save this for like the ribbing going down the side. So I'm going to try to do yellow, like 4 random yellow squares. That might just be strange, but I think it could be cute. All right, I got 4. Oh wait, it's literally days later. I decided to show the clock. I paused it around 6 hours, and I am haven't touched anything, but I really need to get going because I have deadlines in school and I need to finish these projects before any of that becomes uber serious. So I'm just gonna set this up in the background. I guess that looks good. It's just crazy because yeah, started. Let's go.
So normally I like to crochet because it makes me feel more relaxed, especially when I'm very stressed. But something about making these projects really started to add on a little bit to the stress that I had to do because I had upcoming homework assignments that I was procrastinating with, and I just had like not a lot of time, but I still needed to finish this because I committed to doing this for 20 hours for some reason. So I thought that this would be fun, and here I'm kind of like bored and a little bit freaking out inside my head, not that you can tell.
This is where I am. Something I really like about the pattern tracker is like this project, for example, I'm not going to be able to keep because it's somebody else's cardigan. So I will be able to like have a visual representation of a project that I made. And I have like the date started and ended, so I'll know how long it took me for a frame of reference. Maybe I should add like how many skeins of yarn or what kind of yarn I used too. That might be helpful for like future reference. Okay, so I officially ran out of the velvet color, so I'm going to use this. I have about 14 squares left according to my organizer. All right, 10 hours on the dot pretty much. I came out and I arranged all of the squares. The sleeves are back there. And I'm going to try to start combining them. I think this is going to be really big. This is 70. That's a lot. So we're going to try to start combining them now. All right, so I have to stop for now, but I was able to seam all of this together, and I still have this side to do. But it's time for dinner, and I need to end today. Around this time was really when the fatigue started to hit. I was all over the place, very tired. My fingers were cramping. I just wanted to end the whole challenge, but the sweater was like pretty much done, and I was very proud with how it was turning out. I thought it was really cute, but I was exhausted emotionally. I don't know if I would recommend speed running a whole sweater like this in like 3 days. That was a lot, and I had other things to do, and it was a lot. Anybody who knows me knows that weaving in the ends is the part I like the least about this, so saving it to the end was just the cherry on top. How's it look?
That's pretty. Look a lot.
Alright.
It's a bit big.
It's not for me. Yeah. Oh.
Mood really started to change around this project after I added the trim. I really liked having the gold trim around the edge and the cuffs of the cardigan. I thought it made it seem really regal, and I was starting to get reinvigorated.
Done. Good morning. We are almost 18 hours in, and we're starting project number 2, which is going to be a lot faster. It's going to be a bucket hat, which requires 4 granny squares and 1 pentagon. The colors that he wanted were relatively bright, kind of neutral, but kind of funky, kind of going off of this, leaning heavier into the black. I do have a green that I think would look pretty cool too. Maybe an orange, but let's see. Is this giving Pepe Le Pew? Alrighty, literally 2 hours. This is the hat. It's super 90s. Kind of big too. I think it's cute. I finished it. So that is it. I have crocheted for 20 hours. Like I said, it is literally months after this, and I need to get this video up, so I'm filming an outro. I really appreciated this. As you can see, I still have the hat back there because I did not give it to him yet, but he did say that he liked it. I just have to add a satin lining inside and then I can give it to him. Behind me right now is something that I'm working on. I'm sure if you're like a crocheter on Pinterest, actually I finished it. If you're a crocheter on Pinterest, then I'm sure you've seen this. I am making it without the pattern, and I'm gonna upload this next. This is the next video, which is why I have to get this one out. So thank you so much for watching. If you are excited about anything I have going on in the future, please feel free to subscribe and like this video and come back. I'm gonna try to upload another video in like a week maybe, or 2 or something, but the videos are done. I just have to upload them and edit them. But yes, thank you for watching. Bye.